Hello, fourth graders. For reading today, you're going to need your language arts notebook, glue stick, pencil, your choice of coloring supplies, and this worksheet, the alliteration worksheet. Go ahead and pause the video while you get those materials and get this glued into your reading section. Okay, so alliteration is one of my favorite ones. You actually have seen alliteration a lot. And we use it more often than we actually think. Alliteration is a sentence or phrase with words which start with the same letter or sound. So that's our definition. So go ahead and pause while you write that definition. Now, an example is Morgan Mouse munched marshmallows merrily. What alliteration do you see in that example? You see the M sound and that M letter. Now this one is tricky because sometimes it doesn't always have to be the same letter, just the same sound. Okay, like K and C can both say K, but sometimes C and S can say S. So as long as it has the same sound, it doesn't have to be the same letter. Most of the time we use the same letter just because that makes it easy to make sure it has the same sound. So go ahead and write that example. And we're going to do something a little different today. You just need to write this one example for me. Okay, so remember you can always pause or rewind if you need more time. We're going to look at a poem by Shel Silverstein. He is a famous poet and he has a book called Where the Sidewalk Ends. You probably heard of or read. This is one part of the book. It's called Sarah Cynthia Sylvia Stout Would Not Take the Garbage Out by Shel Silverstein. Sarah Cynthia Sylvia Stout would not take the garbage out. She'd scour the pots and scrape the pans, candy the yams and spice the hams, and though her daddy would scream and shout, she simply would not take the garbage out. And so it piled up to the ceilings, coffee grounds, potato peelings, brown bananas, rotten peas, chunks of sour cottage cheese. It filled the can, it covered the floor, it cracked the windows and blocked the door, with bacon rinds and chicken bones, drippy ends of ice cream cones, prune pits, peach pits, orange peel, gloppy glumps of cold oatmeal, pizza crusts and withered greens, soggy beans and tangerines, crusts of black burned buttered toast, grizzly bits of beefy roast, the garbage rolled on down the hall, it raised the roof, it broke the wall. Greasy napkins, cookie crumbs, globs of gooey bubble gum, cellophane from green bologna, rubbery, blubbery macaroni, peanut butter caked and dried, curdled milk and crusts of pie, moldy melons, dried up mustard, eggshells mixed with lemon custard, cold French fries and rancid meat, yellow lumps of cream of wheat. At last the garbage reached so high that finally it touched the sky. And all the neighbors moved away, and none of her friends would come to play. And finally Sarah Cynthia Stout said, "Okay, I'll take the garbage out." But then, of course, it was too late. The garbage reached across the state, from New York to the Golden Gate, and there in the garbage she did hate. Poor Sarah met an awful fate that I cannot right now relate, because the hour is much too late. But children, remember Sarah Stout and always take the garbage out. I love this poem because, one, it's just silly, right? Like garbage touching the sky and making all your neighbors move away. Just ridiculous. And it has a lot of good literary elements in it. Did you notice the rhyming going on too? Rhyming. A lot of poems have rhyming in them. Not every poem needs rhyming though, but this one does. And there's a lot of alliteration. Did you catch the main one? That S sound, right? Sarah Cynthia Sylvia Stout, right? Scour the pan, scrape the pan, sour scrape, spice. But then we had some like brown bananas, that BB. There was another really good prune pits, peach pits, orange peel. We have that P there. What about in this phrase right here? What alliteration do you notice a lot of? Crust of blackburn buttered toast. Gristly bits of beefy roast. It uses B a lot, right? That alliteration of B. Or this one, greasy napkins, cookie crumbs, globs of gooey bubble gum, cellophane from green bologna. What do we have a lot of in there? G, a lot of G. And there's so many more that we could look at. So, what I want you to do for your drive is a little different. This time, I want you to make up your own alliteration. Not one that we did like the Morgan Mouse munched merrily. Nothing like Sylvia Stout. It doesn't need to be super long. Just a short phrase. Maybe you use the letter of your first name and try and think of words in a phrase that tries to use almost every word with that letter. Maybe it's your favorite letter. You get a pick and then draw your picture to show your alliteration sentence with the different letters over and over again. I can't wait to see your work. Let me know if you have questions, and I hope you enjoy alliteration as much as I do. Bye.